What's going on, Dragon Ballers and potential Digi-Justin watching this video? Welcome back to another video. It's Sunday. I kind of just wanted to post like a chill video today. I didn't really want to go anything crazy. I actually wanted to post some Dragon Ball gameplay today, but believe it or not, yesterday when I was trying to do that, Untap was down. I don't know if it was maintenance. I think it was like a message saying there was just too many people on the server and whatnot. So I couldn't do that. A little bit unfortunate, but what have I been doing when I've been just trying to like lay back, chill, jam some card games, but not put it like full brain power into DBS? Well, I downloaded this Digimon fan-made simulator, right? And it actually is pretty neat. Like, it's very visually stimulating, which is very, very cool. It's a little bit buggy, but I mean, granted, you know, it's completely independently made, and it's a free product, so it is pretty cool in that regard. And I've just been jamming games. This is very much akin, for me at least, to Chrono Clash. Chrono Clash is a game I was playing just with friends at home. I wasn't doing anything too crazy with it, but it was more of a fun game where you can just play quick games, have some fun, play something a little bit different than DBS. Of course, DBS being the main game that I'm playing, at least. And I said I wanted to, you know, make today more of a chill video, but I think what we're gonna do in this video is just give my thoughts on the game as we're kind of talking it through. I was trying to get an online game for you guys against a real person, because they actually just updated this. I did do 1 or 2 videos of this simulator on the channel, and it was against AI, because at that point they didn't have the ability to play against other players yet, but now they do have that capability, which is pretty neat. But I couldn't find a player to play. There's usually maybe, I don't know, 9 or 10 people online at a given time. So at this point right now, I'm just playing the AI right now, just to play and kind of give my thoughts on Digimon, because I've been playing this blue deck a lot. This is actually a deck I did build myself, and I mean, you know, the card pool isn't infinite right now, right? So saying I built it myself is probably not all that crazy, but I did just try and, like, you know, look at the blue cards in a vacuum and see which ones I liked, which ones I thought were pretty strong. Of course, this Metal Garurumon playing another Digimon on attack seems pretty good, to be honest. But yeah, I think we'll get into my thoughts with the game. I've mostly been playing blue. I played a few games of green. I played a decent amount of games of red. This seems like a free block because he's attacking with the smaller Digimon, so why not, right? But yeah, so Digimon, the game. A lot of stuff going on with it. It seems to be relatively popular out of the gate. Obviously, there's a big card shortage, because technically the game is not even out yet. The game is technically just on pre-release. Oh man, any single time someone attacks my security, attacks an Omnimon. I wish there was a type chat in this game where I could just tell them, like, get wrecked. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, so the game's not technically out. Card shortage, cards are expensive. No one to really blame there. I mean, I guess it was strange on Bandai's part to do this 2-month pre-release thing. It definitely was a bit on the strange side, but regardless, the game is fun in small doses, I would say. Again, this is totally me personally. This is just my opinion, especially comparing Dragon Ball Super. When you're looking at the card game, at my card game resume, competitively played Yu-Gi-Oh, competitively playing Dragon Ball. I've played Magic to an extent. I've played Pokemon to an extent. Never took it as seriously as Yu-Gi-Oh or DBS. Chrono Clash I did play quite a bit. Again, it was just a fun casual game I was playing at home. And Digimon is obviously very, very similar to that, for those of you that play it. I feel like some people that play Digimon don't like to admit that, but it's just the honest truth. Like, the breeding area is different. You do draw more cards in this game than Chrono Clash, which is nice, because in Chrono Clash it was always weird to, like, I don't know, maybe draw 5 cards, and, you know, you have a 50 card deck, so like never seeing the majority of your deck was always pretty strange. So I think that Digimon has capitalized, has improved on some of the stuff that that Chrono Clash was doing, and I do like that. But as I say this, I'm a little bit hesitant to say it, just because, I mean, it's only 3 sets in technically. You know, the English or the global release of set 1 or 1.5, whatever it's called, is the culmination of the first 3 sets in Japan. So as I say this, it's a little bit hesitant, just because, you know, the game can evolve, the game can grow, the game can change, at least in terms of what you're able to do. And I don't know what the computer is doing. Maybe there's like maybe it's like a bug or something, a bug deck, that maybe they're having a bug, or maybe the computer is just stuck on what to do. I have no idea. But the game is very simplistic. The game is, as of right now at least, pick your color, go up your Digimon chain, play the Digimon you want to play, whatever the case is there. You know, in my case, I'm playing I guess you could say a Gabumon Garurumon base deck that goes into Omnimon, which red is basically the same thing. War Greymon into into Omnimon. Man, I really wonder what's going on with this freeze here. Maybe if I just keep blabbering, it'll unfreeze. But the game is very much that way. And it's kind of funny because in Dragon Ball Super, like in set 11, one of the main things we noticed was this big push towards archetypes, right? And in Digimon, I guess you can diverge from that because you don't necessarily need to play Gabumons or Garurumons in your deck to go into Metal Garurumon, right? That is a pretty neat thing about the game in terms of, you can kind of mix and match your archetype to go into different things, but I guess if you want to play Omnimon, you're locked to blue or red, so maybe you can look at that as like an archetype. I don't know, but every single game you play in this game, you're pretty much going up a given chain, and again, as of right now, the card pool is pretty small, so those chains are going to be relatively repetitive every single game. And again, that's something that can change with the card pool, I guess. And I guess there is also Rookie Rush, which, you're not necessarily going up to Megas and Ultimates, but you're spamming the board rookies, playing those every game, and just attacking face, right? So I guess like in terms of DBS, that would be like your Storm equivalent or like your aggro equivalent. But the game is very repetitive in that sense, going up your chain, dropping your biggest Digimon, and you typically don't, unless you're playing Rookie Rush, like I said, you typically don't attack until you get into your bigger Digimon. And I'm so sorry that this game froze, by the way. I'm going to just click around and see if I can get it to unfreeze. Very, again, fan-made thing. It's free. It is fun, but this happens. Of course it happens when I'm trying to record a video. But I guess this is going to turn into more of just like a discussion on my thoughts on Digimon. So, yeah, so linear gameplay. Yeah, it is what it is. Small card pool. Again, maybe that can change. But my biggest gripe with it, and again, this is going to be a personal thing, the game is not as cerebral as Dragon Ball Super or even Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh!, believe it or not, as awful as a game that is, and really that's more just due to the fact that the company that runs the game is awful, and it's just so obvious they don't care at all about their player base, which in my opinion Bandai has done a good job of showing us the opposite. They do listen, they do care, they do want to give us products that we actually want. They're still a company that's learning, but they're trying to give the player base what they want. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very, very cerebral game. There's constant moving parts, constant counters in every form of the game. It is very cerebral in that way. They've kind of overtuned it to the sense that in a lot of cases you just can't play the game, or if you don't open an interruption, you can't play. DBS, I feel like, is in a very happy middle ground where, yes, there are strong counters. Frieza, Charismatic Villain, God-Sling Technique Trunks, which actually a card people wanted to be banned. Counters in this game are very, very strong. And this, talking about Dragon Ball, not Digimon. Counters in the game are very, very strong. Digimon, very, very watered down gameplay, I want to say. Like, it is. It just play your Digimon, evolve up as high as you can, attack strategically. Yeah, you don't want to attack with like a 6k or a 4k here like I have on my board. Why would I do that? Because I don't want to attack into the stack, possibly attack into a mega and lose my board, right? So I'm going to wait till I get to my biggest level Digimon, attack then, but that's generally a standard for most decks, again, unless you're playing Rookie Rush, right? No real way to interrupt your opponent. Like, as far as I know right now, the closest thing to that in the current global release is Rosemon. I think she says something along the lines of, if a Digimon attacks, you can suspend 2 of their Digimon, I believe. So she kind of punishes wide boards like Rookie Rush, I guess. But, I hate to say this because I don't know if you need to have like instant speed spells or interruption or counterplays in order to have a good competitive game, but I don't know. I was playing a Mono Blue Mirror match actually earlier today. I was playing a Mono Blue Mirror match in Digimon, and my opponent went first. So of course, I get to my Mega, I get to my Plesiomon, whatever it's called, the big sea serpent looking dude. I get to him, and my opponent, who already had theirs on the board, they get to play Omnimon first. I lose my boss monster. I lose my progress going into Plesiomon, right? I actually, believe it or not, ended up winning that game because he swung with Omnimon into my stack, and lo and behold, he hit an Omnimon that was in my stack. So that was pretty funny. Again, another one of those situations where I wish in chat there were just somewhere I could type and just be like, dude, get absolutely wrecked. Like, I laugh out loud at those scenarios. They're just so funny. But yeah, so you have situations like that. Very, very dumbed down gameplay. And I want to say, like, DBS in the beginning, obviously there wasn't counterplay. Counterplay was not a thing. But still, like, you had counter attacks. You could choose to stop certain attacks. Right now in Digimon, the only way to do that is with blocker. And I've seen some cards come out in set 4 in Japan. Looks like you're able to give more cards blocker, which is definitely an interesting mechanic. But at least in day 1 Dragon Ball Super, you always had counter attacks. The thing about Dragon Ball Super that honestly makes me believe to like the bottom of my heart that it's the best design game out there on the market right now every single card in your hand at any given time is usable via the combo mechanic, right? So let's say I had a battle card, I'm never gonna play it, and a lot of people play cards like that. Sand Instincts, you play it, you don't have to play a yellow deck, you don't have to cast it, you don't have to pay yellow energy for it. It's comboable, and then yeah, it has a great effect in the drop area. You pay 2 to draw 2, but the fact that it's comboable means that it's usable. It's not just a dead card in your deck or hand at any point. So every single card, for the most part, besides certain 10k combos when you're tapped out or extra cards, they're usable in the game because of the combo mechanic. That just makes every single card in your hand feel playable and or good, right? The other thing about Dragon Ball, you draw so many cards, so most strategies are consistent enough to pull their game plan off in the majority of games, which always feels good. This game, one of the biggest I would say criticisms that most people have, again, people that play this game like to defend it, and there's no problem with that. Defend the card game you enjoy. If you enjoy the game, by the way, you're a winner. If you enjoy the game you play, no matter the criticism, no matter whatever anyone says, you're a winner. But besides that, like, not drawing rookies really sucks, and I hate the argument people say build your deck better, man. You're playing a 50 card deck, you can play 20 rookies and still have the potential of not drawing a rookie early on. You get no value out of the breeding area as your opponent is putting extra dudes into play because of their breeding area. It's an all-around feels bad. That is a big thing with the game. I will say, though, I do like that you draw a lot of cards as you start evolving, but it's very snowbally in that regard. You have to start drawing cards as you're as you're evolving. So if you miss that first rookie, it does get very slow, and honestly it is a pretty big feels bad. Maybe that's a good argument for a mulligan in the game, I don't know, but for me, as it stands, guys, I'm a big Digimon fan. I used to have an outro on the channel earlier in the day. If you're a newer follower, you probably won't know this or remember this, but I had an outro back then that said whenever a Digimon TCG was coming out, I was gonna quit DBS and just go right to that, because Digimon is one of my favorite IPs. I'm probably gonna go play Cyber Sleuth right after this. If you guys know what that is, it's a Digimon video game, super fun, totally recommend it. But yeah, so big Digimon fan here. This game is just very simplistic. It's very reminiscent of Chrono Clash for me, which Chrono Clash was fun in small bursts. I like to play it casually with my friends, and for me, that's what Digimon's like right now. The gameplay, not super cerebral. I would not go to a tournament of this game for like a big cash prizing or anything like that. I'd go to a regional, sure. Maybe get my try and get a qualifier for Nats. I don't know if I would travel super far for a regional, but I would go to a local regional. I would just play just to have fun. I probably will pick up cards for this game. Probably have like a some type of deck, maybe just one deck just to play the game. But for me, this is not my DBS. This is not going to be my main game unless something drastic happens with the game, but I don't see how that can happen with the time mechanic. I don't see how you can implement a counter. Like, what would it be? Counterplay, give your opponent 2 extra time because you're playing a card in their turn, and then maybe KO a guy, rest a guy, negate a Digivolve. I don't know, something along those lines. Just my random thoughts, and I'm so sorry that the gameplay had to freeze in the middle of all this, but I did plan for this to be more of just me talking about my thoughts on Digimon as as I was playing the game, and of course when I want to do that, it freezes on me. I'm very sorry, but as of right now, I think I pretty much laid all my thoughts on the table, so I do want to know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't know how much more Digimon content I will do. I will be playing the game casually. If you guys want to see the occasional gameplay, even if you're a DBS player, maybe it's a nice break in pace, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.